And it doesn't work for everyone. There's always one or two guys that end up making their way on the 90-man roster. There's a couple of guys from this group that'll probably end up being on the 90-man roster. So it's always a productive weekend. It's a fun weekend just to see guys work and compete and give it their best effort. But no, it's never easy. It's just because you know that a lot of guys are probably never going to be able to touch it. You just know they're never going to be able to touch a field. But the fact they're out here working their tails off and giving themselves a shot is pretty cool.
And also with that too, how can a player kind of get your attention or also other coaches' attention?
It's hard. There's just something that stands out, and we already have a really good idea based on the film. A lot of guys are here because of the evaluations that our scouting department puts in so much work, and a lot of these guys had draftable grades, and and they may have not gone drafted, and they may not have gotten a UDFA, but a chance to be a UDFA, but they're here, and so it's so you're already aware of the guys that the organization likes, and then like last year, Jackson he made a really good impression in day one, got everyone's eyes on him on day two. He already came in with interest, and he made the 90-man roster and contributed greatly in preseason, and so it's. It's always cool to see rookie minicamp. I told a story to the guys this morning about Benson Mayoa. Do you guys remember him? He's still in the league. You guys know him at all? The D-end. I actually called him to be a UDFA. It was like $1,000. And then Coach Carroll and John, we had to take the money away because there was no more money left. So we basically had to pull the UDFA offer. And long story short, he came on and he wanted the invite to rookie minicamp. Was awesome in rookie minicamp. Got to the 90-man roster, and you guys remember that was the 2013 Super Bowl team, and he made that 53-man roster with that D line. And now he's 10 years later in the league. So you never know where they're going to come from. It's just it's a cool weekend.
Robert, how different is the feeling roster-wise versus your first 2 years in terms of you were counting on rookies greatly the last 2 years, right? And this year it feels like maybe you won't have to do that as much. Is it a different feeling in terms of where you guys are in terms of roster building?
I feel like I was just talking to Joe D about this. Joe D, he's awesome up there, right? And like going through the draft, you're best available. That's what we're taking. It doesn't matter. We don't care about position. We don't care about need. We are taking the best player that's available on the board, and that's how we roll. And in the first 2 years, the best available was probably the biggest need. Over the last 2 years, where this year, best available may not have been a need, but shoot, we're not going to stop from that principle. And so it's really cool because you don't have to rely on a rookie. You can let him develop. It's also good for the rookies because we got a really cool mixture of veterans and rookies where, there's a lot of really good examples on this football team of what it's supposed to look like. So foundation's there. We got to stack up wins and keep that thing going. And but no, it's much different.
When you look at the kid from Pitt, Izzy.
Yep.
Have you seen him here, the speed and all that stuff? Is there something that stands out about this kid?
Well, the draft picks were off to the side.
Right.
I don't know if it's like this around the league. It's just my personal philosophy that on those 30 visits, they get out of shape. Leading once their pro day's over and they're on those 30 visits, they just don't get a lot of work in. So the draft picks are here and they're just kind of working off to the side, trying to get acclimated. We'll see what those guys look like once they get back next week.
What stood out to you in the pre-draft process about the tight end Zach, and just his scores seem to be all out?
Yeah, it's unfortunate for him because he had the injury, but his height, weight, speed, and all that stuff. Usually when you get into those rounds, you just want the back half of the draft. You just want guys who are big. You're looking for something freakish that you can work with, and he's got great mindset. He's got tremendous athleticism, size, and all that stuff. And so for us, it was very easy when he was there.
I'm sure you've had guys like that in the past that their traits are crazy.
Yeah.
Production in college doesn't reflect the skill. Do you search for answers of why why didn't it translate in college, or you just kind of come in and go, all right, we're just going to take this?
Yeah,
a little bit?
you search, but there's also, we've had his production wasn't terrible, but it wasn't bad. It was decent. But like Malcolm Smith, 7th rounder, who was one of the first, he ran like a 4.4. He's just blazing speed. But is there a trait, an intangible that he has? What's the mental makeup? And if you're lucky enough to combine all of them, and you don't always hit, but it's an old saying: if always take the freak that loves ball, and if you do, usually they pan out. And so he's got freakish ability, and he's got a love for football. So now I just got to work with him.
We talked about it a ton, but the overall depth since you've gotten here, how much do you think it has improved, and what does that change how you do things as a coach, and how much easier does it make your job?
I think it's improved greatly. I mean, you just hit it on the question. I think Kaz just asked it about the youth. Over the last 2 years, there's so much youth playing, and all that youth creates depth, and it creates competition, and and the greatest form of motivating as a coach is competition, and so it all helps. And then to add the veterans, to add all the experience that we've been able to add this offseason, like I said, there's really good balance here.
When you talk about the rookies and just trying to get them acclimated, how much of that is just trying to find where to go, and also just how things kind of work in the program?
It's all of it. So they're coming in. They're going to be a little out of shape. They got to get acclimated to a new building and the way we do things. They're going to see a completely different speed because our guys, the varsity, if you will, it's been 3 weeks now of being part of phase 1 and the first week of phase 2. And so they're moving at a different clip, and they're going to miss this week, because they got to leave. So it's going to be 4 weeks of training for the varsity, if you will. So it's going to be a different speed, and you're just trying to get them acclimated, one, to the conditioning, so they're not falling out so early and subjecting themselves to injury. But at the same time, there's the meal plans and just the nutritionist, the strength coach, the regen, all the different things that they're going to get thrown at, things that will get thrown at them along with the playbook. It can get overwhelming.
Robert, one of the tryout players, Jack Cohn, what made you guys bring him in, and what have you seen from him in the short time you've had him?
Yeah, he had last year with, I think it was Indianapolis, and he has a talent, obviously, and just to bring him in, give him a shot, give him a look, give him a chance to compete. I thought he did a really nice job, really impressed everybody. And I know we're going to go back, watch his tape real quick, just to see if there's more of a discussion to be had.
Robert, Lakai tweeted this morning. He since deleted it, but I'm assuming this is in response to yesterday, your answer. He tweeted I period, M period, A period, left period, tackle, exclamation points. How do you kind of handle this? As you kind of made it clear yesterday, you want to play your best 5. I assume that means you don't have him slotted left or right. How do you kind of respond to his feeling about where he plays?
Go in the left tackle. Competition.
As far as Travis Dye, I know you had another undrafted free agent last year, Bam Knight, who you relied on. Just talk about what you see from him and just possible impact he could make possibly on the roster as well.
Talking about Bam? I'm sorry.
Travis Dye, who you...
Oh, yeah, no, it's...
Bam,
No, for sure. It's, again, just another opportunity to come and compete. And like I said, the best form of motivation is competition. And we've added 3 really good draft classes since I've gotten here. Joe's had 4 of them, and some really good free agents, a lot of additions. So there's a lot of competition all the way across the board. And so it's to add athletes, to add good players to really good groups, to add competition, and it makes everything better from special teams all the way down.
What is your expectation from Kai this year? I mean, obviously we've seen he's lost a lot of. Has he been here? Has he been participating? What's your expectation?
Yeah, he's been here. Expectation for him is no different than everybody else, and it's redundant. And I get it. I feel like I say it to you guys all the time, but wake up and find a way to get better and maximize who you are every single day, and that's it. That's the expectation. And if it leads to starting, if it leads to a left tackle position, it doesn't matter. If you go to bed satisfied with the way you approach the day and the way you attacked it, then odds are it's probably going to work out in your favor. And if it doesn't, at least you can go to bed with no regrets. And so with everybody in this organization, that's the expectation, is to go to bed better than when you woke up. And if you do, things usually work out.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, guys.
That's my